I'm going to read from this because I get nervous. I was not raised with any form of religion. I attended a Catholic school for about 6 months in high school and occasionally attended church with a friend, but other than that, my parents were European. They ran around from the war when they were younger, so they never had time for religion either. My mom did in England, but my father, so it was never pushed on us to have that as part of our lives. When my oldest son, Eric, was in first grade, he started to get the pressure from the other kids in his class about going to church and wanting to know about religion. He was told that kids could not play with him because he was not LDS. So Eric comes home from school, tells us he wants to go to church. I'm at a loss. Adam was raised Lutheran, so I found a local Lutheran church in the area, and we started to attend there. After maybe a year and a half, found myself attending church by myself. The kids and Adam had had enough. They were done, weren't learning, so they stayed home. And I thought, church is supposed to be family. So after I was speaking with a friend of mine who was already attending Lakeside and told her how unhappy that we were with our church, and she invited me to Lakeside the following Sunday. So I was real excited about it, went home, talked to Adam, told him, hey, really need to look at this. And he goes, that's great, you go, tell me what you think. Thanks, that was nice. So I went alone, and it was good. They made me feel very welcome, so it wasn't as hard. My first Sunday at Lakeside was at the City Hall building in Syracuse, and I used to meet there, so it's quite a while back. Derek was not speaking at the time. He had been out having his pacemaker placed, so Matt was speaking at the time. So I got to hear Matt speak, which was cool, and I got to meet Derek and Sheila because they happened to be there that same day, and I was hooked. So I brought Adam the following week with toys. Everybody seemed to enjoy it, and that was it. A few months later, sitting around Matt and Becky's dinner table in their old apartment, they explained to us how Christ died for us on the cross. This was something that was very foreign to me, as well as Adam. Even though Adam was raised Lutheran, that's not something that they really talked about. So they talked about how I'm forgiven for my sins because of that ultimate sacrifice. The analogy that Matt and Becky used was a drawing that showed a separation between Christ and us. Adam didn't get it right away, so Becky went into a little more detail on it, and he got it. Becky just seems to have a way with words. So we both understood. I was in tears. To be forgiven for the wrongs I'd done, what an amazing thing. That's just something that I could not comprehend. There's a verse that I chose. Colossians 3:13 says, bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. It's a great verse, but it is one that is tough to practice and one that I struggle with daily. Over the years, we've had our struggles and setbacks. I battled cancer and won. Adam has had multiple brain surgeries, infections, and seizures that have taxed our family. We've been dealing with Adam's hydrocephalus since 2001. When I was diagnosed with cancer in 2010, I prayed to God and asked, really, why us? Why our family? Haven't we dealt with enough? What have we done to deserve this? Really, nothing. Things happen. You don't always know why they happen. They just do. Because of my cancer, I've met some pretty amazing people. I have helped and been there for a lot of amazing people that have been down the same road. Because of Adam's hydrocephalus, we have had the same experiences, but in the hydrocephalus community. Through it all, our Lakeside family has been by our side, bringing meals to my family when I was sick, taking me back and forth to chemo treatments, sitting with me in the middle of the night as Adam lay unconscious in ICU. This church has been there more for us than our own families have because we're far away. I am so thankful for this Lakeside family. Last fall, Adam ended up with a pretty severe case of meningitis, which rendered him shunt-free. It may not last, but we're taking each day as it comes. My cancer is in remission, and I continually pray that it stays that way. Through all of these surgeries, treatments, and things that we've gone through, when I'm feeling my most anxious, I pick up my mom's prayer book that she had when she was a little kid, or I reach for my Bible. It always brings me peace to find an appropriate prayer or verse in the Bible that will really talk to me when I need it the most. Philippians 4:7 says, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. One thing I want to add, when I was going through my cancer, as a parent, you think you know more than your kids, and that's not always the case. Christopher was 10 or 11 when I was going through the worst part, And he and I were having a discussion in the car, and I said, you know, I don't get this. Why? Well, why would God do this to us? And he actually set me straight at that age. Said to me, no, Mom, there's a reason for this. Same thing as I said here. We don't always know why, but there's a reason, and it just makes you stronger. And I thought, I was pretty profound for a 10 or 11-year-old. I was impressed. And it made me realize that we are at the right church to have my boys be able to teach me something like that. So, thank you very much.